Hey everybody, it's Patty Davis with Crooked Tree Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to do a sunflower but using a fused daisy petal. This way the petal cuts down on fraying. It just has a much sharper look. So it's going to look fantastic. Let's get wreathing. I am going to use a 10-inch wire form today. And of course, as we always do, I'm going to use this plastic canvas, and it's the 5 mesh, not the 7. And I'm just going to trace out a circle in the center and cut it out, and I will attach it to the center using 4-inch zip ties. Okay, so I attached this plastic canvas to my 10-inch wire form, and I went ahead and used a lid to the spray paint can and just kind of went in, as close to the center as I possibly can, and just traced that just so I have a guideline for as I'm going in towards the center, so I know how close I am to the center, things like that. I like to use guidelines like this. Next, I am going to show you, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to show you how to cut the daisy petal, and we will be using a wood burning tool. Okay, so here is my wood burning tool. As you can see, I use it an awful lot, but I am using a chisel tip, and I have a glass cutting board. It is actually kind of dirty, but if you want to learn how to clean this, I will have a quick video to show you that. But anyhow, what we are going to do, we are just going to cut this. These are going to be the leaves, and we are going to cut all of our petals, the leaves and the sunflower or daisy petals, whatever you want to call it. We're going to cut these at 10.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going all the way to my 0 mark on my cutting mat. I have the 10-inch. I have a little mark next to it. And I'm just going to go just a little bit over from that. Make sure I am staying within the lines of the poly burlap and cutting down. And I'm going to do 2 of these so I can show you, because with the leaves I'm going to be doing these 2 different ways just because I love to confuse you. Okay. For this petal, I'm going to have the finished edge on the top right and the bottom left. Now I'm going to bring this down. Okay, so now you can see this here, it is not going to go all the way to the edge. It's going to go up until the finished edge starts. Okay, then over here I have that extra 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to take my wood burning tool and just kind of right along that finished edge, and I'm going to fuse it with the poly burlap behind it. Yes, you're going to have a couple spots here and there that don't release, but you see how it is fused together right along here, along that edge. Okay, so we're going to do one that way, and then I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to have the finished edge on the top left, bottom right, and instead of taking it down, I'm going to take it up. because it's a lot easier for me anyway. Again, this is going to go right to the bottom of where the finished edge starts. We don't want to take it all the way up to the top because we want to keep that, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. And then from this edge down, just fuse that finished edge along with the poly burlap behind it. And we got that fused edge. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to flip these over so you can see the finished edge here, and then this is flipped over so the finished edge is here. So where do we go from here? What I'm going to do right here in the center, kind of bunch it right there, and then scrunch it. Now from this point, you could either use a zip tie, you can use you can use a rubber band, zip tie, whatever you want to use. And there you go. And the finished edge is on your left. But this one here, do the same thing. And you're going to have the finished edge on your right. Okay, so you can see the difference in these. Okay, I have my form, I have my leaves in different piles. I have 5 of these with the finished edge on the right. I have 5 of these with the finished edge on the left. And what I am going to do, I'm going to take this one here that has the finished edge on the right. I'm going to put that kind of underneath this 3rd ring. Okay, and I'm going to get it so I have the zip ties kind of just underneath that ring. Okay, then this one here I'm going to put over top, so they are going to go like right here at the crossbar and on this 3rd ring. Then I'm going to take, let me pull out my zip ties here. Okay, I'm going to take a 6-inch zip tie. You can use it 8, whatever you want. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, actually, I'm not going to use this ring. I'm going to use the crossbar between the 3rd ring and that outside ring. Okay, let's pull that away. So you can see I'm going to just use that ring right there. Okay, put this one over top, kind of have it a little bit crisscrossed. And zip tie that shut. Okay, so now you can see I have that finished edge and the finished edge right there, because that is what's going to be really showing the most. So that's kind of why I had that going one way and then the other. And I'm going to do that with each crossbar. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now I am going to put the petals on, and all of the petals, I have the finished side on the right hand side and the fused side is on the left on all of them. So there's no confusion there. You're just going to do them all the same way. And I am going to put 3 of them. I'm going to use this 3rd row. Okay, so we're going to put 3 of them along here, and then we're going to go and do 2 right on the inside of here, and then try, this is my theory anyway, I'm going to try to do 5 on the inside. So, but with this row here, I'm going to show you, see how I'm putting this on. I can put the petal in this way or this way. Right now it doesn't matter, but I'm going to show you this way real quick. Okay, and see how it's leaning to one side? What I'm going to do is put another zip tie in. And straighten it up. Okay, so now it's going straight up and down. And I'm going to do that with all of these on this 3rd ring. And what I want to do also, I'm going to go from right to left. That way I'm not going to be fooling around with it too much. I'm going to put this one here so it's like the finished edge is over top of this one. Okay, so now we got this first row done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually use the plastic canvas and just put 2 per section on this second row. Okay, but I'm going to go as close as I can to that inner ring. And just kind of guesstimate where it's going to go. When I go in one hole, I'm going to skip a hole and then come out the other. I know I'm going in the wrong direction. I started in the wrong spot, but I want to show you how we can do 2 per section. That'll be plenty. We don't need much more than that. Okay, so now all we need to do is put the inner row in, well, 5 for the center, so it would be just 1 per section. So I'm going to try to pay attention to where my crossbars are and just kind of go over top of that crossbar. Okay, so for the center, I'm just going to use this flower center that I got from the Wreath shop. Normally I make my own, but I decided this time I'm going to try doing one of these centers. I think this is actually very beautiful. It's going to work out perfect. What I'm going to do, I have to put a wire on the back. So I am taking one of these wires. I got this from Joann Fabrics. It's I believe this is either 20 or 22 gauge wire. It's called a stem wire. If you are going into the store, make sure you look to see, make sure it's nice and thin. They have a thicker wire that is more difficult to use. So, but the higher the number gauge, the thinner it is. Okay, just so you know. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these in half, just because we're not going to have to use the whole thing. So I'm just going to cut it in half. Kind of set that aside. Okay, and so then we're going to use this half, and this is where we're going to put it, right there in the center. So what I'm going to do, I have my glue gun. Okay, I also have floral pins. Okay, I'm going to get 2 floral pins out. And I'm going to stick this in here at an angle. Try to keep it as close to the center as possible. And again, I'm going at an angle because I don't want it to come out the front. Okay, so we have that. Now, if you pull real hard, you'd be able to pull that back out. We don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hot glue all the way across. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of gently put this over top. And once we got that felt on there, I'm going to kind of hot glue the ends of that down. Just to make sure it's on nice and good. And it's going to help keep this from pulling out. And then once this is dry, all we got to do is add this to our flower. So here's our flower, and I'm going to go ahead and just put that right through. That wire is going to go through that plastic canvas. I'm going to turn that over. Okay, and all we got to do is wire that on. And we're done. Beautiful. Okay, so this is our finished wreath. It is very much like your regular sunflower. The only thing is it has that little bit, it's just a little bit sharper, simply because we fused the sides of these petals together. So it just has a little bit of a sharper look. I think it looks fantastic. I love how I did the leaves. They just stick out just enough, not too much, so it looks really great. And I love these little sunflower centers. They're great. I usually do make my own, but I kind of thought, you know what, for the price, it's only about maybe double of what I would spend if I made my own. So it's not like it's too much. It saves a lot of time, and I think they look fantastic. I think they actually look a little bit better than my own, but I had been holding off on using these, but I'm so glad I did. I really like it. So, but yeah, this is it. So what do you think? Do you think, it's worth the extra work to put into the petal? Let me know in the comments. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up too. My name is Patty Davis. I'm with Crooked Tree Creations, and I'll see you in our next video.